I'm coming, y'all. I'm just trying to finish dinner. Hey, Miss Naturally Reed. I'm trying to finish cooking dinner before I go in the cozy cottage. So y'all give me like 5 minutes and I should be done. How are you? Happy Thursday. Ah, thank you. I got it ready yesterday evening. And it only took them like, I think they started about 4:45 and I was out of there by 10:15. They were done with everything. So, hey, Miss Latarsa. Happy Thursday. Hey, Miss Michelle. Happy Thursday. I'm just finishing dinner. And then I can move to the cozy cottage. But I wanted to get this done because by the time I finish with devotional, I just want to sit down because pork chop been off the chain today, y'all. Good morning, Miss T. Miller. I am making this recipe actually when I went in HEB on Sunday. You know, they have, so at our store, at HEB, they always have samples. Like they have a place called the Cooking Connection where they're always cooking something because they're trying to get you to buy their stuff, and it always works. And so I bought this bacon vinaigrette because they had this recipe that the guy had made, and it was chicken, mushrooms, and onions. And he added the vinaigrette and some heavy cream. And he said you can serve that over pasta, but I'm gonna serve it over rice because my husband likes rice. I'll show y'all. Hey, Miss Angela. Happy Thursday. Hey, Mr. Kira. Happy Thursday. Hey, Miss Anna Island. I'm just cooking dinner, y'all. So this is it. I'm gonna turn it down because it's way too high. So this will thicken up because it has heavy cream in it. And then I would add some bacon to it, but my husband isn't a big bacon person, and neither am I, to be honest. So this kind of just has the flavor, but no bacon in it. And he can eat this with a salad if he wants, but he's gonna watch the game, and so I wanted to get dinner done before I came in here and talked to y'all ladies. Good morning. Good evening. Hey, Miss Patrice. Miss Patrice has a good channel. She has a good fashion channel. So if y'all haven't seen her channel, y'all subscribe. She be finding all the things. Let's see if I can make some of this chicken smaller. I know it doesn't look good, but it tastes good, y'all. Oh, it's a little blonde in there, but I went darker. Now I did want to have it a little bit lighter, but I couldn't find that mix in the store, and I was like, you know what? It's fall. It'll be all right. I don't need to be super blonde. It's going to be fall. So this is, if you know anything about colors, this is 4, 27, and 613. So the 4 is what's making it look dark. Thank you. So far I've lost 13 pounds. That's good. I could use a little bit more cream. I'm on live for you come in here. For you come in here saying something, doing something. I'll be brushing up on you. So stay over there. You about to feed Maui? Oh yeah, your channel's good. I enjoy watching your videos. So I'm adding a little bit more, half and half, because I'm out of heavyweight. Thank you. And I'm gonna eat after we get off of the devotional, and that'll be my eating until Saturday. All right, babe. This rice just needs to get done, and then you can eat. Okay. If you want, do you want a salad with this, or you good with this? Huh? Really? Yeah, you love that dog. You want a salad with this, or you good? Salad. Yes, salad. So I don't care about his next dog. No. What? Just fix your little side salad.
Do you knock down Eisen anymore?
Huh?
Do you knock down Eisen anymore?
Nah. I'm going toe to toe today. Huh? He peed on the floor. Clean that up. So that is why he got put in the cage, and then he was crying, and so I put him outside. Riley is at her football game, so her game was on the other side of town this week. So I was like, girl, we ain't going to that game. We went to her game last week, her first game. What y'all eat for dinner tonight? All right. Maui, don't come over here with that. You just chunked down all your food. He ate it all. He ain't got nothing left. I'm about to, wings. I cook fried chicken wings, cabbage, and yellow rice. Ooh, soup. Yeah, what kind of soup? Dang, that's a lot. You did that on a Thursday, Patrice? Okay. Ooh, this is good. HEB never steers me wrong. I know that was like a whole Sunday meal. You did that on a Thursday. I need to step my game up. All right, watch for this rice, okay? The rice, when the thing come up to warm, then you can fix your plate. It's already, all you gotta do is put your rice in your, that chicken and stuff over it. Bye. Here come Maui. chunks of chicken breast, cut up veggies and noodles. Ooh, that sounds good. Wings, sweet potato, and broccoli. Ooh, that sounds good too. What's up with the wings? Man, I want some wings stop so bad. But that won't be happening until the weekend. Cause tomorrow is my fasting day, so I will not be eating. Y'all, my pants is getting too big, y'all. Let me tell y'all, this alternate day fasting is a game changer. Game changer. Highly recommend. I like coming on in the evenings with y'all because we don't have to rush. You know, we can chill, whatever. So much noise. So dinner is done. We gotta worry about that. That'll be easy to clean up. Now I just gotta eat and then chill till Riley. Riley probably won't be home until I probably have to pick her up at like 11:30. It's probably when she'll be home. That good thing. How's y'all week been so far? That's where my wings are from. Oh, Wingstop. Man, I could go for some. I like the teriyaki wings. I don't think they call it teriyaki anymore. Are they called teriyaki? It's been a while. I like that and the garlic parmesan. Mm, with some of that Wingstop ranch. But you can make that Wingstop ranch at home. Honestly, all you need is that Hidden Valley Ranch restaurant style. Make sure it says restaurant style on the packet. That one, and then I think like a cup of buttermilk and a cup of mayo and a little sour cream. Mix that up. I promise it tastes just like the Wingstop one. But the Wingstop ranch is undefeated. Undefeated. Hold on, I'm trying to refresh my computer, y'all. I ate so bad on that cruise, I need to push back from the table. It's a vacation. Okay, now, get it together. Yeah, garlic parm. I remember the first time I had Wingstop, Bean was a baby. I think Bean may have been 7, 8 months old. And I had just started working at this call center. I was working for AIG. Before that, they were called Ballot. And I had met a friend, and she had a little boy. I think her little boy was like 2 or 3. And she was like, let's meet up at Wingstop. And I'm like, what's Wingstop? She was like, come on, baby. Never looked back. That was back in the day. This is how long ago it is, because Bean will be 23 on next week, the 16th. He'll be 23 years old. This was back in the day when they used to have a 24-piece special for $19.99. And now their 24-piece special is almost $40, or it is 40-something dollars. Ken Steakhouse Ranch dressing is what they all try to imitate. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like ranch out of the bottle. It doesn't taste the same. If I'm gonna have ranch, I gotta make it. Now I have heard that the Boathouse or Lighthouse, I can't remember what it's called, that ranch is pretty good, and you get it out of the refrigerated section, which I could probably see that because it's in the refrigerated section. But the ones that sit on the shelf, I don't like those. They're full of chemicals, to be honest. Full of them. I really, most of the time, make my own salad dressing. I make my own balsamic vinaigrette. I'll just do olive oil and lemon juice, salt and pepper. I make my own ranch. I know how to make a champagne vinaigrette. Different vinaigrettes. I can make that strawberry. I don't like dressing out of the bottle. Not out the, maybe the refrigerator section, but not out of the not off the shelf, you know, in the regular aisle. Cause it's just full of chemicals. And ever since I did this last Daniel fast, just looking at all the ingredients, because you know I had to be real strict about what I could eat. Everything has sugar in it. So much sugar, so many chemicals, so many things I couldn't pronounce. I just be like, forget it. I used to just be like, forget it. I'll just go home and eat some fruit or make a salad, and I'll just put some olive oil in and lemon juice on it and call it a day. Yeah, making it yourself always comes out better. All right, ladies. So we are going to talk about today when it's more than you can handle. Okay? When it's more than you can handle. So, of course, y'all know I always get my inspiration from just me everyday living, scrolling, all that kind of stuff. So, I remember I shared a video the other week about the other day about making sure that you are including God in part of your great lockdown plan, which we'll be talking about the lockdown plan when we talk about the Esther fast in a little bit. But yeah, so the same guy, I followed him, of course, and I started watching some of his videos, and he had a video, and it said that God actually does give you more than you can handle. And I thought about it, and I was like, what do you mean, sir? And, you know, he broke down the verse that talks about, you know, God won't give you temptation more. There will always be a way out, right? We know that verse. And he was saying that was talking about temptation. But God does give you things that you can't handle. And he gives you things that you can't handle because he wants you to rely on him. And when he said that, it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense. He said, you absolutely have gone through things that you couldn't handle, and I absolutely have. And I was like, how am I going to make it out of this? And he said, and at that point, the only thing you could rely on was God and the word of God and everything that goes along with that. And I was just like, yeah. So I thought that was a good devotional topic, when it's more than you can handle. And so our core verse is 1 Peter 5:7, and it says, in the same way, wait, no, that's not 7. Ooh, Lord, I need glasses. It says, give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. Give all of your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. And I can tell you, just from experience, from what I've been through in life, God definitely cares at all. He is the one that cares the most. A lot of times when we're going through things, we feel isolated and we feel alone. At least I know that I have felt that way. And I felt like, man, I didn't really have that many people in my corner, or maybe they just didn't understand the situation that I was going through, so they couldn't relate, right? It's hard talking to people about cancer and those type of things. And honestly, before I had cancer, I didn't know anything about all of the stuff that goes on. So someone talking to me about it would be foreign, right? I would be like, and I really couldn't relate until I actually been through it. And even though that's the club I don't wish anyone to enter, to have membership in, once you get in that club, you do understand. You can relate to people. Now, I told y'all I didn't go into any support groups just because I found that a lot of support groups, there was a lot of doom, okay? And I didn't need that. I couldn't concentrate or focus on doom. I needed to focus on the positive things. I needed to focus on the other side of cancer in order for me to get there, right? But yeah, I felt a lot of isolation. I felt alone. I felt like no one could relate. I feel like, and maybe this is just me saying this. Hold on, y'all, this is bothering me. maybe this is just, are y'all still here? Y'all get some hearts if y'all here. Because maybe I'm talking to nobody. It says y'all are, but y'all know stuff be crazy. Oh, okay, y'all here. Just making sure I ain't talking into the void. um, hi. Hi, Miss Joy. Um, what was I gonna say? Now I done forgot. What was I saying, y'all? I felt alone. I felt isolated, and I felt like people didn't understand. Um, I felt like people maybe didn't take things. Thank y'all. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure y'all are still here. I felt like people didn't take it that serious. You know what I mean? If you've ever been sick and you like had the flu, and if you've ever had the flu, especially at my age, the flu will, you feel like you dying. Okay, literally. I had the flu and I was 30 something, and I had the flu not too long ago, and I felt like this was the end. And people don't really understand that until they've actually gotten that sick, and they're like, man, I felt like it was going to take me up on out of there. Well, I think that's kind of how it was when I had cancer. Of course, no one really had cancer around me, so, oh, she's sick. You see things now. Oh, either you see two things. You see people go through chemo and then they're fine, and then you see people die. And so, people couldn't relate to the in-between, I guess is what I was saying. But yeah, I had to depend on God. I had to focus on his word. I had to focus on his promises. I had to really believe that he was going to heal me, because if I felt like when I found out the way that I found out, the whole story and everything, if I was going to die, he wouldn't even put me through that. He'd have just let me go in my sleep or something like that. Or, maybe when I got to the hospital, when I found out, I'd have a few weeks and I could say my goodbyes or all that kind of stuff. I felt like he put me through the things that he put me through because he wanted to heal me and he wanted to get the glory. And I give him all the glory. I give him all the glory. But it was a lonely, isolating time. So if you are going through something, understand that you are never alone, even if the people around you, your environment, your family, your friends, they don't seem to understand. They don't seem to get it. You don't feel like you're being supported and all of those things. I remember me and my sister got into it when I was sick, because I felt like, and I'm very transparent with y'all, I felt like my sister wasn't there for me when I was going through. And to be honest, she wasn't. And I remember, oh, I have a piece of wood on here. Sorry, y'all. I remember, she was like, well, I would ask you every day how you were feeling. I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was really upset. And she was like, I would ask you every day how you were feeling, and you wouldn't say anything. You would just be like, oh, I'm okay. Or maybe occasionally I would comment like, I'm tired or I'm exhausted or something like that. But, and then it was just like small talk. And so she was like, well, you would never say anything. And I was like, well, I'm going through a very rough time. What is it that you expected me to say? You see me in the hospital, like, you knew, like, I was like this. And that's what I mean. Like, people really didn't take it as serious because they're not going through it. And so I had to understand that, me and her, what we are now. But I had to really understand, like, people don't get it. She was just like, well, I would ask you if you were okay. You would be like, you were okay. And I'm like, I just went through 48 hours of chemo. Do you really think I'm okay? Or do you think that maybe I'm just saying this because I'm tired and I have nothing else to give? Like, anyway, people will not understand, and therefore you will feel alone. But that is the time that you really have to call on God and understand that you are not alone ever. He said he will never leave you or forsake you. He said that. That's a promise. and he won't. And sometimes he puts us through these situations so we can learn to really lean on him completely, really surrender to what it is he wants to do in our lives. I told y'all yesterday, every time I have surrendered, God has came through. He has came through. And I thank God for putting me through the things that I had to go through in order to finally give it over to him. And especially in these child is very isolated. Isolated, also meant to self-isolated too, though. I'm considered the strong one, checking on others, rarely being checked on, though. I do not have a special needs child, and I don't know how that feels. I have a special needs nephew, and some other great nephews, and it's a lot. I see my sister-in-law, my former sister-in-law, but they're still family to me. You know, the things that she's had to do and go through, and you know, I I my heart goes out because you will be a part of you, even if your child can live on their own and so on and so forth and so on. A part of you will always feel responsible for that child, and that is heavy. That is heavy, heavy, heavy. So you really got to learn how to give that heaviness over to God. And I can understand why you would self-isolate as well, because the thing is, when you are going through something and then people are out living their lives and they're happy, you don't want to be Debbie Downer. You don't want to depress people. That was like my main thing. Like, I felt like I was going through this, and so I don't want to depress you. I don't want to make you sad. Like, I don't want you looking at me with pity and all of this kind of stuff. Like, I don't want the subject to always be, Nicole sick, da 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 da, or whatever's going on. And so, yeah, I can totally understand self-isolating, but you don't have to be alone. You really don't. And you are going to have to learn how to really give that heaviness over to God. Yes, I agree. Your testimony is truly the best man I found you to Sheena Bush and Co. Oh, thank you. We didn't get to go to San Francisco because I got sick. So unfortunately, we had to cancel our trip, but we were planning on doing something else. I'm actually going to see Sheena on Monday. We're going to the Chris Brown concert. We're going to Breezy Boat. So, yeah. Yeah, you, Miss Honor Island, like, again, I don't want to, like, say, ooh, I understand, because I don't necessarily understand, but I see you, and I hold space for you and what you have to go through. And it's your baby, right? Eisen got into something earlier today, so I had to like keep an eye on him, and that is why I am tired. I like really had to keep an eye on him today, and like he was even though he had got into what he got into, he was full blast all day, and I had to stop and I had to say, because when he got into some stuff in my cabinet. And when he had got into the stuff, he's fine. I was like, Lord, please, he didn't take anything, but he had like opened the top on some stuff, so I was scared. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, Lord, let him not take nothing. And I checked him. He was okay. And again, he was full blast, but I was keeping a close eye on him all day. And he was just off the chain, and we went to the park, and I let him run around and all this kind of stuff. And I was tired, yeah, but I had to say, thank you, God. I said, thank you for this high strung little boy. Thank you. Because it could have been something else. But we just thank God. We have to be grateful for not necessarily the problems or the issues, but the responsibilities that we are given. We have to really, really show show God that, you know what, we're still grateful. We're still grateful. This may be a lot, Lord, but I'm not alone. You know, this, I may be going through this. You know, I have a friend that's going through something, and I had to tell her, you know, not toxic positivity or anything. And I was like, and this is not good, what is happening. But that person is still here. And so that means that there's still a chance for God to work his miracles. And it's still a chance for God to do whatever it is that he wants to do in your life, and to show whatever it is that he wants to show you, whether that be strength, whether that be more understanding, whether that be more compassion and empathy for people, whether that's to like start a support group for parents of special needs kids, that y'all can get together and talk and relate and get it out. Y'all remember that movie, The Single Moms Club? Like something like that. Like, you don't know what it is that God has called you to do in this season, but he will show you eventually if you surrender and you lean on him. I try my best to be there for my best friend. Her oldest daughter died and she has 2 sons, 6 and 7. Oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot. She has full custody of them. When I lost my son and I isolated myself around his birthday, it's so hard. Man, that's a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry y'all had to go through that, because I can't imagine. I can't imagine losing a child. I can't. I'm so sorry y'all had to go through that. I'm so sorry your friend had to go through that, Miss Angela, because that's so hard. That is not an easy thing. And it's hard to find not necessarily the good, but the positive that's supposed to come out of losing someone you created. Um, and I just pray that God brings peace and comfort. Peace and comfort. Because that's a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what this whole devotional is about. It's more than you can handle. And that is why we have God to lean on. So we've all heard the saying, God won't give you more than you can handle. But the truth is, life often hands us more than we can carry. Whether it's loss, illness, financial struggles, marital difficulties, raising children, or even the quiet weight of loneliness, all those things can overwhelm us. If God only allowed what we can handle alone, we would never need him, and it's true. But scripture consistently shows us that God does allow more than we can manage, not to break us, but to teach us to surrender. That's right, Miss Natarsa. Amen. Amen. The Apostle Paul confessed in 2 Corinthians 1:8-9 that he was burdened beyond his ability to endure, so that he despaired of life itself. Yet he realized it happened that we may not rely on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead. Our strength runs out, and it does. Oh, it does. It does, Lord. His never does. The too much we face is an invitation to shift the load from our hands to his. That's so true. Our strength does run out. And it's crazy because our strength runs out, but we try to keep going. We try to keep going because we think that that's what we're supposed to do. But that's the time that God is saying, come to him and rest. So when you feel like you can't take it anymore, when you feel like you can't be the strong one, I'm the oldest out of 7. And I'm always looked at as the strong one. And I think that's why when I got sick, they were like, oh, Nicole be okay. And I was, and I thank God for that. But the process, um, the taking it all in, taking it all on, I didn't have the strength to do that. And so I thank God for coming in the gap. In the gap. Okay. You know, it's like gap insurance. You know how you buy insurance on that new car and you drive it off the lot and they tell you get some gap insurance because if something happens to the car, you need something to fill in the gap because it's not worth as much as it was when you drove it off the lot, right? It depreciates greatly. So you need gap insurance to cover that. And not saying that God is gap insurance, but He does stand in the gap for us all the time. All the time. So our affirmation is I am not meant to carry everything alone, okay? And you are not. And let me tell you this, it is not a bad thing to need help. It is not a bad thing to want support. It is not bad. It's not a bad thing to want people to be there for you. It doesn't make you weak to need support. Okay. In fact, it makes you very smart. Okay. Um, so don't feel. I know we've talked about asking for help before, but stop feeling guilty for asking for help. And if you feel like you can't ask the people around you for help, ask God to bring you the help, and He will. Um, I remember, and I ain't trying to talk about my sister, but when I got sick, my sister said, "Oh, we're gonna come over there and we're gonna clean your house and stuff like that." She had something else to do, so she didn't get to come, and I was upset. I was sad, because again, I am the one that's always, I'm the oldest, so I'm always orchestrating, getting things done and stuff like that. In the past, I was. And my former in-laws, they called me on the phone, and my mother-in-law at the time, she was like, well, I wasn't married. Me and my ex-husband were divorced at that point, but she called me and she was like, you okay? And my former mother-in-law, she's been through cancer, I believe 3 times. So she knows. Like, she was like, we're going to come over there. Now, this woman does not drive. She does not drive. So she got my sister-in-law with her daughters. And they came over and they brought me new sheets. So my mother-in-law loves to shop, and she's a Macy's hoarder, okay? Don't tell her I said that, but she loves her some Macy's. And I always used to tease her because she has this big walk-in closet, and the closet has all of these unopened packages in there, sheets, towels, comforter sets, everything you could think of to, like, for your home, she has it in there. And I say, you got the magic closet. And I used to come over her house and I used to tease her, I'm gonna go in your magic closet and get stuff. And so she came and she said, I brought you things from the magic closet. And she washed the sheets and put fresh sheets on my bed and cleaned up my bathroom and brought me fresh new towels and all of those things. And even though the people that I didn't think or that I asked to help me, which I didn't ask my sister to do that, she said she wanted to, but even though those people didn't show up like I thought they did, God still brought me help. So even if you feel like you can't call on the people, or you don't want to call on the people that are around you or that are in your life, still call on God and ask Him to help you. And you don't know who He will bring you for support. You really don't. When you look at it as a strong one, people act like you don't need help. We all need help as well. We absolutely do. Appreciate you doing these sessions. You're welcome, Tahira. I love that. This helps me. Okay, I told y'all I started this devotional for me. your girl is still a work in progress. Okay, very much so, very much so. A journal prompt. I didn't finish the affirmation. I'm sorry. I am not meant to carry everything alone. When the weight feels like too much, I will place it in God's hands, trusting His limitless, okay, say that again, limitless strength as to uphold me, okay? I'll repeat that again. I am not meant to carry everything alone. When the weight feels like too much, I will place it in God's hands, trusting his limitless strength to uphold me. There is no limit. There is no limit. Okay, limitless, right? That's T. Clock it, T, whatever. Limitless. He is limitless. Let me turn this other light on. Is that a little bit better? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, let me bring this light over here. That'll be better. Here we go. Here we go. I'm looking like a ghost. A ghost. Anyway. Limitless. Okay, clock it. Clock that T, as the young folks say. So, journal prompts. What is one area of my life right now that feels like it's too much to handle? I have to think about that you really think about that, because sometimes we think we be handling stuff, but we really don't be. We really don't. How have I been trying to carry it in my own strength? And what would it look like to surrender this specific burden to God? What would it look like to really just give it over to him? I can tell you 100%. Worrying, stressing, trying to figure it out, trying to make things happen, they add nothing to your life. They add nothing to your life but wrinkles and maybe some health issues. We really have to, like I've said all week, like my pastor said, we really have to make prayer the first priority and not the last resort. When a problem arises, the first thing we should think about is God. But before that problem arises, we should be in the habit of prayer and spending time with God, learning his word. Really committing it to our heart, because when those things come up, I just be thinking of different verses. And even though I said I'm going to stop saying I don't know that verse, and I'm going to start really learning and remembering these verses, because my memory is getting better. I'm not saying that it's bad, it's getting better, because I really want to commit those things to my heart when things come up, whether it's for me or to give someone else an encouraging word. So make sure that you are taking time, even if it's 10 minutes, to pray and spend, even if it's 5, to spend some time with this word. Even if you read a Proverbs every day, whatever, really get into this word. I was watching something on TikTok, and I didn't watch the whole thing, because sometimes when people talk really long and I'm doing something else, I gotta go back to it, and I didn't get to go back to it. But what they were saying was that the classes are going to be separated by who can read. And I thought about that, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense, because even though you see a lot of book talk and stuff like that, if you don't know what that is, that's like the book community on TikTok. And reading may have made a little bit of resurgence. It's still on TikTok. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not just you just reading. It's still got to be a book club, and y'all got to go do this. And I'm not shaming book clubs, because we got one here, but it's never just reading for strictly your own consumption and enjoyment. And I could see, them separating, that what's the saying? If you ever want to keep something from somebody, write it in a book, but it ain't somebody, it's the specific people that they said that about. Yeah. So if you ever want to keep something from someone, put it in a book. So I say all that to say, start reading your word, start really spending time reading and things like that, because the time is coming where things will be difficult for people that simply rely on social media, because again, that's someone controlling all that. Anyway, that's my conspiracy theory of the night. Sorry to give y'all the conspiracy theories. All right, action step. Today, write down one burden you are carrying on a piece of paper. Pray over it and then physically place it under your Bible or in a prayer box as a symbol of giving it to God. I think that's a great exercise. Whenever you feel tempted to pick it back up, remind yourself this belongs to Him now. You know how they say, I'm above this now. That's where we gotta start. I'm above this now. It's above me now. It's above me now. The problem is that what they say? It's above me now. Okay? The issue, the problem, the everything, whatever it is that's going on, it's above me now. And I'm not taking it back. Okay? So, what are some practical faith-filled steps that you can take, all right, to stop trying to handle what was meant for us to lean on God with instead? Pause before you pick it up. When a challenge comes, instead of immediately slipping into fix-it mode, baby, because we love to be fix-it Felix, okay? Pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this mine to carry or God's? Am I meant just and this is the thing, and I'll tell y'all this, I don't do it now. When people or things come at me, I always say to myself, do I accept this or not? Because you don't have to accept some of these things that people project on you or you feel like are happening to you and all of that. You can easily, I don't accept this. What? I'm not accepting that. I'm not taking that on. I say that all the time. You don't have to accept things, especially things that people project on you. You don't have to accept that. You don't have to accept things that you projected on yourself. You can change your mind. You feeling depressed, you feeling lonely, you have the power. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. You have the power to say, you know what, I don't accept this anymore for my life. I don't accept this, and it's done. It's over. You actually can say those words. Now, without without works, faith is dead. What is it? Yeah. You got to put some work behind it, right? You got to put some work behind it. But anyway, pause before you pick it up. Instead of slipping into fix it mode, pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this mine to carry or God's? This simple pause creates space for surrender instead of control. Create a surrender ritual, just like we were talking about, writing your problem or your issue down on a piece of paper and putting in this Bible and then saying, it's above me now. I'm not taking it back. You can say, before looking at your phone or your to-do list, pray over your day and say, Lord, I give you my schedule, my emotions, and my outcomes. I think that's really good. You know what? I need to start praying before I plan for my week. Lord, direct me. Direct my steps. Amen. I've always asked God to renew my mind. Absolutely. My mama is a big Joyce Meyer fan, and in fact, a few months ago she was looking for the book because she could have sworn I had the book, and I'm like, Mama, I got my own copy of Battlefield of the Mind. She do not play about that book. But evening journal what felt heavy during the day and release it in prayer before bed. I think that's really good. This rhythm keeps your heart tender and leaning on Him, which is where we should always be at, trying to lean on God. Mama Joyce. Replace hustle with help seeking, okay? Soft feminine faith is not about doing it all, but knowing when to seek help. Ask God for wisdom before making big decisions. Ask trusted sisters, mentors, or your partner for support instead of bearing the load alone. I told y'all, anytime y'all need me to just listen or whatever, hit me up on my DMs and Instagram. I don't have a problem giving y'all my number, and y'all can call, text, talk to me, whatever it is that you need. I may not have answers for you. My answer may be to pray or to go to God, but I will listen. And sometimes listening is all that you need. Sometimes you just need to get it out there in the atmosphere. And so I am, because I am not, I don't know a lot of things, not even everything. I don't know a lot of things. So I don't like to steer people wrong. However, I can listen. I can definitely listen. Meditate on God's promises. This is really good. Do y'all have like that little God's promise book? I think, Natasha, did you send me that? I think you did. Um, I love y'all being. I love y'all for being here. The people closest to you just sign it. They sometimes they don't, and it's okay. It's okay. Keep verses close that remind you he carries the weight. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That is a promise, okay? Psalm 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God." Okay? He promised he will give you rest. If you are weary and burdened, if you are feeling heavy, he said, come to him and he will give you rest. That's a promise that, maybe you need to put on a sticky note and have everywhere. But I'm speaking for me. Write these. Oh, here you go. Write these on cards. Put them in a planner, or make them part of your morning devotions. Practice gentle obedience. Instead of trying to manage outcomes, commit to small daily steps of obedience. For example, if you're praying for health, focus on nourishing meals and movements while leaving the results to God. We talked about this kind of the other day about, instead of trying to always do things in our own will. Oh, you sent me. Okay. Instead of trying to do things in, our own will and focus on the outcomes and the results and all that kind of thing, leave the outcomes and results to God, okay? He said he got that under control. You just do the work. You just do the work, okay? If you're praying for provision, be diligent with budgeting while trusting him for increase. These things keep you aligned without being overburdened. But looking for God's promise, that sounds good. Yeah, I think they have. I know I had one in the past. I don't know what I did with it. I need to look on Amazon for a God's promises book, and it'll have like the different things that he promised in the verses that support that. I think that that's a good thing, maybe to even keep in your purse. I think that's good. Many women romanticize rest. Many women of faith feel guilty for resting, but softness honors God too. Schedule moments of beauty and ease, whether that's like a tea time or coffee time, a bath, reading by candlelight. Rest says, I trust you enough not to run myself ragged. Okay, let me say that again. Lord, I trust you enough not to run myself ragged. That means that you trust God so much that you know that you can take some rest. You can take a break and he's going to still take care of things. In fact, things will turn out even better because he is taking care of it. How many times do we feel like we have to run around and get things done and things will fall apart if we do not have our hand on it and therefore we do not rest? That means that you are not trusting God to take care of things, and you cannot live like that. Give it to him. Take your break. Take your rest. He will handle it. I know I told y'all, like, I'm ready to do this Esther fast at the end of this month for several reasons. And I was saying, well, maybe I need to schedule my posts and all of that. And I said, no, I'm not getting on social media during that time unless it's to see something about God. And I mean that. And I'm not worried about, because you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. And FYI, I'm not posting a blog today because your girl started editing. It was 2 hours of editing, and I said, you know what? I don't have the mind for this right now, but we will get it done, and our other vlog will be up as Sunday as well. But this vlog will probably be either tomorrow or Saturday. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Things will not fall apart if you do not do them. They won't. Things will not fall apart if you decide to take a break. Everything won't fall apart at work if you decide to take a PTO day for yourself or a vacation. I know they have said that if you were to drop today, that someone else will replace you. And let me tell you, I've seen that several times. I remember when I started working at AIG, which is where I used to work. Um, I had a coworker. His name was Mr. James Jordan, and if I tell you, this man was the sweetest guy. He was a young black man. He was probably in his 30s. He had a family. He had a wife. He had kids. He was working and taking care of them. His kids would be all over his desk. He was just such a great man. He went to church. He was a good man. And you know what they say about the good people, that sometimes God takes them early. And he ended up getting cancer and he passed away. And it was really quick when it happened. And if I promise y'all they had somebody in his seat like 2 weeks later, we had a man upstairs. Upstairs was our sales department. So we called them the Retirement Education Center. If you don't know, I used to work with like 401k plans and things like that. So upstairs was who sold all the plans, right? They would sell IRAs and 401k plans and all the different plans to people in groups. And one of the salespeople, he had a heart attack and he passed away at work. At work. And the ambulance came and we were all, and it was basically an email, a moment of silence, and he was replaced. Things will not fall apart if you are not a part of it, but you will. You will fall apart for not taking that rest. I don't want that for anyone. We have to deal with so much every day. If you have time, take a rest. No, not even if you have time. Make time. Take a rest. Take a rest. Take a PTO day. Take a mental health day. I was just telling somebody that the other day. Maybe you need to take a mental health day. And I don't mean that to like discount what you're going through. Like that's just gonna solve everything. But it might. It might. Taking you a little rest, taking you a break. If someone offers to help you, take them up on their offer. We love saying, oh, no, I got it. I don't got it. That man will come in there and he'll say, you need me to do this? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. My father-in-law will be like, yesterday, I went and got my hair braided. Riley still needed to be picked up from school. She still needs to be fed. I'm going to get my hair braided, Okay, well, me and my dad will work it out. The old me, I'd have been trying to orchestrate all of that. Well, okay, I could call so-and-so and do so-and-so. And then if, I'll have this at home prepared. Girl, I went and got my hair braided and that was it. I came home, Riley was sleeping in her bed. In fact, my father-in-law texted me while... Sorry, my alarm went off. Excuse me. My father-in-law texted me while I was at the braid shop, and he said, I picked up Riley and I got her some Subway. And then she called me on the phone. She don't have her phone right now. That's a whole nother story. She called me on his phone, and she said, well, Mama, I need my computer, because she ain't got a computer either. But she was like, I need my computer to do this assignment, da-da-da-da-da. I said, okay. Make sure you let your stepdad know so he can get the computer when you're done. That's it. But back in the day, me, I'd have been trying to, well, I need to do this and I need to, well, you don't have to, I don't want to inconvenience you. You don't have to stop and pick her up. I'll send an Uber for her, or I'll do this or I'll do that. My husband said, okay, go get your hair braided. Me and my dad will figure it out. Because he had to pick up Lindsay, our other daughter. He had to pick her up too. So he was like, well, I'll ask my dad to pick her up. We'll figure it out. Y'all gotta start taking people up on their offer. You ain't gotta always figure it out all the time. Rest is important. Rest, God himself rested, okay? And that should tell you all that you need to know. Anyway, I'm sorry to keep harping on that, but y'all know I love a good rest. I love some help. If you offer me some help, I'm gonna take it. I remember Miss Natarsa was like, "I'll be a moderator." Yes, ma'am. Okay. I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out. Listen, I take the help. I take the help, and I suggest you do as well. Speak surrender out loud, okay? When worry rises, whisper, "This is too heavy for me, but not for you, Lord. Not for you. Lord, I trust you with the outcome." You know, I listen to some marriage stuff from time to time because I would like to have a successful marriage this time around. Okay, it's my second husband. And one of the I was listening to this lady I've been listening to, and she was saying, instead of trying to come to your husband and be like with the solutions, just say you trust him with the outcome. You trust him that he knows what he's doing. And I had to do that actually the other day because I seen something and I was like, ooh, maybe I should say something and ask him how he gonna fix it. Because y'all know I'm nosy and I want to know how you gonna get this done. And I was like, Lord spoke to me. He was like, Nicole, don't you say nothing. Don't you say nothing. Wait. Don't. Because maybe I wanted to say something. And we were talking, might have been earlier this morning or yesterday. Oh, it was earlier this morning. He was like, yeah, so and so and so and so. And I was like, oh really? Try to act like I ain't see it. But I was like, oh really? And I was like, well, maybe. I said, you know what? I know you're going to figure it out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to figure it out. Same way with our partners or our husbands, we have to let them know that we trust them. We got to tell God, you know what? I trust you with this. I don't know what to do, Lord, but I trust you. You know what to do. You know how to figure this out. You know how to fix this. We really have to start, even if you have to physically, like they said, write it on a piece of paper. Write it on a piece of paper and physically put it in your Bible and say, Lord, this is for you, Jesus. Do it. Do it. Speaking surrender reinforces it in your spirit. And that's true. Saying things out loud. Y'all know, death, life, and death. Power of the tongue. Say it out loud. Lord, I need you to take this on. I trust that you are going to take care of this for me. I trust that you are going to figure this out way better than I could, Jesus. We really have to start surrendering. Being a feminine woman of faith, that's us, means embracing softness, dependence. Okay, because everybody want to be an independent woman. No, we are not independent. We are dependent on our Father. Dependence and grace. God never asked us to be everything for everyone. He asked us to be daughters who lean on a faithful Father. Mic drop. That's all he asked for us to do. To lean on us. Lean on him. So if you have something that you are going through, something that seems impossible, or something that's just hard, give it to God. Truly surrender it over to him, because he may be putting you, not necessarily putting you through that, but allowing this to go on because he wants you to lean on him. He has the solution. Again, he goes before us. He knows what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, how things are going to work out. We got to stop being so scared to give it to him. I know I was just like, when I was heartbroken and I was like, ugh, man. And I just was like, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. I ain't never going to be with nobody. And then I said, you know what? I surrender this whole thing to you, Lord. Lord, I'm just going to work on myself. You know, you've heard this story a billion times. I'm just going to work on myself. I'm just going to have fun. And my husband came out of nowhere, honestly. And he wasn't even someone that I probably would have talked to in the past. just to be honest. I would have probably just, I probably looked at him like, mm-hmm. But I was like, you know what? I'm just having fun. I'm not serious. And this man snatched me up, swept me off my feet, literally. Literally. I had no opportunity to try to talk to anyone else. And this man was out of town. Okay? He wasn't even here when we started dating. And he was still applying pressure. So give it to God. Surrender. I'm here today to be able to talk to you about surrendering because I surrendered. And I know the power in that. Okay? So I hope that this was helpful. You needed to hear this, Miss Anna Island? Yeah. Girl, you don't have to do it in your own strength. Even if you feel like no one around you can help you, God can help you. He can open up doors. He can open up opportunities. He can have programs for your children to get into. You don't know what God could do. We can't even imagine. Like, you know, stuff has worked out and you're like, dang, I would have never thought about that. You don't even know, okay? But he knows. He knows. He knows you needed to hear this. And he knows that you need to come to him and say, you know what? I'm giving this over to you, Lord. I can't carry this anymore. Okay? I can't carry it anymore. So, people texting in the group. I've been on here an hour. We don't get our hour-long chats anymore because I be having eyes in the morning and he be off the chain, y'all. Now, this morning when he came, he was actually asleep, but he made up for it. He made up for it. Y'all know I love y'all. If you ever need me, like I said, to listen, if I have a suggestion and you want to hear it, because I don't give unsolicited advice, I'll give it to you. But beyond that, I can listen. Anytime. I just be here. Okay. I don't be doing nothing. Your girl's very boring. I said that the other day to myself. I was like, I am very boring. But you know what? Boring is peaceful, and I'm all for that. I'm all for a very, very peaceful life. So bring on the boring. We all need. In fact, who said that the other day? I think Sheena. We were talking about Riley, because Riley got in trouble. So she don't got no phone. She don't got no computer. She ain't got all this stuff that she loves, and she's been around here just bored. And Sheena was like, boring is good. And I was like, you know what, it sure is. Boring is good. More kids need to be bored. I know some kids do wish they could be bored right now rather than in the situations that they're in. So I accept the boringness. I accept the peace. So anyway, I pray and intend for y'all to have a peaceful night. I'm praying for all of us to have comfort and for peace to come with whatever situations that we are dealing with, and that we truly surrender it to God, because he knows best. Not even better, he knows best. Okay? I love y'all. I pray and intend that you have the most amazing Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. And the most amazing weekend. I will see y'all Monday morning at 6:45 a.m. I look forward to it. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to talk to y'all about the fast. I'm not going to keep y'all any longer, but I will be doing a fast at the end of this month. Where's my calendar? And actually, it's great that I'll be doing it at the end of this month because I have my colonoscopy on October 2nd. It's just my routine colonoscopy. They didn't see anything, but I got to get it done every 2 years now. So last time I got it done was in 23, so it is time to do it in 25. And so I'm probably going to do my fast sometime the week of the 22nd. And I'm doing a 3-day fast, and I'll go over it some more. We'll talk about it next Thursday evening when I have some more time. But yeah, we're going to do fast, and we're going to talk about a spiritual lock-in, okay? A great lock-in God's way. We will be talking about that next week. So I love y'all. I'll see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye. Love y'all, ladies. I appreciate y'all.